Hashtag Fin to win.
Hello and welcome to another Gwent City video. Today we'll be talking about our ranking experience on the ladder. And today we also have Dale, the White Wolf, and Swim. Say hello guys, how you guys doing?
Hello. How's it going?
How's it going?
Well, Swim, tell me, what is your favorite thing about the ranking ladder right now?
My favorite thing, huh?
Yeah,
Lots of Squirtle.
lots of Scoia'tael. As I heard, it's your own deck as well.
Yeah. Let me clarify a bit more on what I was saying. Basically, most people seem to be of the opinion that there is too much Squirtle. I think that my kind of philosophy when it comes to games is that there's always going to be one overpowered or favorite deck, and I think the most interesting choice out of the ones we have right now is Squirtle. So I like to see it, honestly.
I see. What about you, Dale?
For my favorite thing about the ranked ladder,
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about the ranked ladder is it gives us just a nice place to really try and show out our competitiveness. I think Gwent was lacking in that before we got the ranked mode. So having the opportunity now to have everyone on the same page, everyone going and saying, hey, I'm trying to be the best, or at least the best I can be, and figuring out how well or how poorly that stacks up against other players. I think that's probably my favorite thing about it so far.
I see. Now, we have seen like the meta changed drastically and so fast. Like, I swear, every like 2 days the meta will change completely. What are you doing to keep up with these constant changes?
Now, for me, what I'm trying to do to try and keep up with the meta is copy other people's decks. No, I've been struggling to keep up with this meta because I agree with you. It feels like it's just every other day there's something like whatever I was just running suddenly it's like, oh no, that's completely fallen out of favor. So trying to see what other people are doing in order to adapt to the meta has been helping me out quite a bit because for whatever reason, just I cannot keep up with this meta. I can find something, I can play something, and then the next day it doesn't do nearly as well as it did. So I try and just expand my knowledge base as much as I possibly can on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, I see. Well, what about you, Swim?
Um, I mean, it's a struggle for me too. I think the most important thing is to just maintain a really flexible mindset after every game. Just kind of like try to like take like maybe like 20-30 seconds to kind of like evaluate like why you lost. Maybe think about your card choices, your tech choices, and just go from there. And if you just do that, then it definitely becomes like more manageable.
I see. Well, a lot of my viewers on Twitch and also on One City, most of us tilt at one given point or another. How do you guys deal with tilting?
Ooh, well, I had a bit of a tilt journey of my own recently. I tilted pretty far down. This was it lasted for like 3 days maybe, which is pretty long. Um, I don't know. I honestly I'd like to hear some answers to that question. Uh, I don't have any methods, man. It gets to me.
Alright, so Dale, can you give Swim any tips on how not to tilt or how to deal with the tilting?
I can't give him any tips on how not to tilt. I think that's going to happen to us all at one point or the other. How I've been dealing with tilting is, and I think it kind of contradicts what I want to do when I'm streaming, but it's just you got to take a break from the game because you got to first off recognize that you're tilting because it can sneak up on you sometimes, and then you just need to step back. You need to collect your thoughts, get some fresh air, figure out why you were tilting, figure out if there was anything that, because a lot of times when you're tilting, it's because you think that the RNG is getting to you. You think that things are outside of your control, preventing you from winning, and sometimes that is honestly the case. So you just have to accept that and move on. But a lot of times, there's minor things you can do here and there, small mistakes that you made that over the course of the game added up and ended up costing you that game and caused you to start tilting in the first place. So you try and find any small thing that you could have improved on. And what helps me a lot is just taking a break, getting some fresh air, grabbing a drink, and coming back at a later time.
I see. Now, let's get a little bit more into the factions. Is there a faction that you would like to see, like, emerge from the shadows or stay on the shadows? Is there anything that you want to change about the current meta?
The only thing I'd like to change about the current meta is something with monster. I like the faction quite a bit, but when you compare it to Skellige, when you compare it to Northern Realms, when you compare it to Scoia'tael, you don't see it nearly as much, at least on the higher end of the ranked ladder. It's just not as common of a deck, and I think one of the reasons that I think we'll probably get a little bit of hate for it is Weather Monsters is extremely popular at the lower ranks, but what you end up seeing, the reason you end up seeing that is because it's a very cheap deck to build. It's a very effective deck to build, but as soon as you can get the counters to that deck are gold cards, which if you don't have a full collection yet, you're not running 4 gold cards, and lots of clear skies, lots of first lights. There's ways to counter that deck, but you don't see it if you don't have the cards. But I do like the consume monster, big monster that I've been seeing around on the ladder. I think it needs maybe a little bit more love. Maybe it doesn't even need any love, and people are just dismissing the faction outright as being bad. But I would like to see monsters more on the ladder because I very much like the way that the deck types play so far for monsters. I just haven't been able to find a solid deck that is consistent enough for my liking.
Oh, that's a very good answer. What about you, Stream?
I kind of agree with Dale. I think monsters, their faction identity could be a lot more developed. I like the graveyard play. I'm gonna go beyond his answer a little, and I'm gonna say everything except for Scoia'tael. I think monsters are. I think their faction identity has a lot of potential, but honestly, I think they're kind of boring right now. I'd like to see them get a lot of love. Skellige, I have no idea what's happening with Skellige. I mean, the first iteration of the game, Discard Skellige, was very popular, and that was a very unique playstyle, and it was very interesting. And now we've got this emergence of the Ard Coral, like stacking the back row, Commander's Horn Skellige. I think that's also really unique. I actually really like the deck. I think it's just very, very unique and offers a really weird perspective of looking at the game compared to other decks. And yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with that. And I think Northern Realms is kind of boring.
Do you guys think that deck thinning is the reason why Scoia'tael and Northern Realms are so popular right now?
I think it's part of the reason, but definitely not all of it, and probably, in my opinion, not even most of it necessarily.
Hashtag thin to win.
Do you think that is very, very strong on those two factions and that's what makes them so strong at the moment?
I'm agreeing with Swim on this one. I think it's part of what makes them strong, but it's not entirely what makes them strong. One of the best things about being able to thin out your deck to, especially round 2, you only have maybe 5-6 cards left in the deck. Round 3, only 2 to 3. It's what we're thinning the deck out of in those two factions, and a lot of it is these bronze cards. Since we can only have 4 golds, 6 silvers, that only leaves 15 slots that are bronze, and bronze cards, especially in comparison to silvers or golds, just aren't worth as much. So if we can get them out of our deck round 1, round 2, we're making our draws going into these following rounds that much stronger because we're increasing the chance that we're finding our golds, that we're finding our silvers. And I think the golds and silvers are what's shining and what makes Northern Realms and what Scoia'tael makes Scoia'tael as strong as they are right now, is because their golds are so flexible, their silvers are so flexible, and the combos that we're able to pull off with them compared to other factions are extremely powerful. So you take that in conjunction with the deck thinning of just getting rid of all these bronze cards that we just don't want anymore in the deck in order to find these extremely powerful silver and gold ones.
Is there any plugs that you guys want to say? Anything?
As far as plugs are concerned, be sure to check out Gwentelman.com. We are putting up as many cool articles as we can regarding the competitive scene of Gwent. We are also running the first Gwentelman's Open. That is the rebrand of the beta brawls that have been running in November and December. I highly encourage anybody to sign up if you are interested at all in trying to get into the tournament and competitive scene of Gwent. The 21st and the 22nd are the qualifiers. The 28th is the finals. I'm also going to go ahead and plug my own stream here, twitch.tv/The White Wolph. I'm streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, guaranteed 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. I try and start earlier, I try and go later, and I also stream on weekends, but I don't have a dedicated time slot for those.
Nice. Okay, Swim, you can make it, bro. I believe.
Okay,
Swim,
okay.
Is there any plugs that you would like to put in?
I'm gonna go ahead and additionally plug my BFF Rysik and my good friend Urdev, who I ask. We collaborate a lot to make decks. And I'm gonna plug my own stream, which can be found at twitch.tv/swimstream, and I stream whenever the hell I feel like it.
I like that schedule. I'm always on that time. Perfect. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for watching, guys. My name is Manti XD, and I'll see you guys next time.